Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you for joining our call today. I just want to welcome everybody who's here live and also those who are listening on the podcast. Thanks for joining us. The word that we're going to focus on today is alignment, gratitude for alignment. And it's such a simple word. It's likely that we've had a gratitude call on this subject before, but I know we've got different people and today's a different day. And so we're going to have a completely new experience with this word, gratitude for alignment. And I'm going to set my timer for 90 seconds. We're going to do a private silent meditation on gratitude for alignment. Just write down whatever comes to you, your personal inspiration on this word, and then we'll share. 90 seconds, gratitude for alignment, private silent meditation, begin. All right. Well, I had a limiting belief come up, so I'm going to write that down real quick so that when we get to that part, I can address that. All right. I have had a little bit of pain in my hip the last couple of days, and this morning I thought I need to get into the chiropractor because I always have found that if I've got any kind of misalignment, the rest of my body kind of compensates for things. Like if my neck's out of alignment, then I might have a pain in my knee. And if once I get aligned, if that pain goes away, it's like, oh, okay, that's all it was. But I feel like the alignment, it's important to get aligned first to see if there is really a problem. The little irritations that we feel in different parts of our body, most of the time I've found, in fact, I would say probably almost 100% of the time, that the little things that we feel inside of our body are because of being out of alignment. And, I'm not just talking physical in this moment. So getting in alignment and then seeing if there's a problem. And I know whenever I've wanted to make a decision, or if somebody comes to me, with like, I've got all these ideas, I don't know what to do, I'm not sure which was the right direction, whatever. I'm like, just take a deep breath. Let's get in alignment. Let's get in alignment with God. And now what feels, the best. And it's that getting in alignment and having singularness of mind with me, my soul, my vision, God, others that I get to serve, all of that kind of coming together in singular mind, that alignment, everybody being all on the same page. That's the best place to see now what's next. And I also just was reminded of the gratitude triad masterclass that I did last month, and how we've talked about collapsing that gratitude triad into one singular line. And that's what that singular mind is me, my soul, God, others, everybody coming together on the same page. And it's not until we can get in alignment that everything becomes easy, everything becomes clear, everything is so, just crystal clear. We know exactly what the next direction is, the next step is. So I'm grateful for that tool of alignment that gets us into a place where we can make decisions and we can see what's really going on. Who else has something they'd like to share? Betsy?
Oh, I love that. I actually went right to the beautiful visualization of puzzle pieces. And the first thing that I wrote down about the alignment and puzzle pieces was the joy of the fit. I mean, how great it feels to look over that, 1,000-piece puzzle and you find the one that fits with another and connects. There's just so much satisfaction and peace. And then when you do find that fit, you're encouraged to find the next one. You look at the next spaces and shapes, and you start figuring out and working it out. And what are you looking for? And do I need to turn pieces over or connect with colors and the shapes, and it's encouraging. And so in God's puzzle, and we've talked about this before, is that he sees the big picture for us, and he gives us these beautiful glimpses of what those color and light is. And the pieces are just so easily seen when we align with his plan, rather than trying to look for maybe just the shape or just the color. And when we focus on what his design is for us, and maybe we should be working on the red parts over here instead of the blue parts over there, and aligning with his will makes the puzzle go together so much quicker. And the pieces can really be the puzzle of life, the puzzle of the project in front of you, the people that are gathering together and how they fit for a time and come in and out. And really, it's okay to have that perfect fit. Like, perfectionism is okay in this way, where you can try to force a piece in, and when it doesn't fit, that's when you've got, like you say, the limiting beliefs, the issue. Something's just not quite right, and you can do your best to try to make it fit and get a bigger hammer, as they say. But until you let go of that piece and try another one in its place, then there's just, it's so beautiful. And I think fulfilling, or back to the joy of the fit, and that those higher vibes when we're aligned that way.
Awesome. Thank you. Lots of really powerful principles here that you're teaching, like finding the one. I know the scriptures say how full, how great shall be your joy if you just find one soul that can fit into the kingdom. And, but how much greater your joy is when you bring many souls. And I've had that experience where I've been putting a puzzle together and you find one, especially after a long search. And I've actually put both hands in the air, both fists in the air. Yes, I found one. It's like I want everybody to know that I found a piece. And it's such an exciting time. I also loved what you're saying about like getting the bigger hammer and trying to make that piece fit. And, we try to do that in life so much. But this visual of the puzzle, we see that there is a perfect way, right? This is actually a situation where perfect is actually best. And, especially if you are building a business and you're inviting people to be part of your community, like we do in the architecture of life, there's a perfect fit. And we don't have to make people fit into our mold or try to fit ourselves into what other people want. we just, it's just like, I'm just me. And people who are a fit will be attracted to me. It's like so easy. Have you ever, when you've been putting a puzzle together, you look at a space and you're like, okay, there's, it's this color and this shape and everything. You look over the whole, well, this piece just isn't there. And somehow you pick one up and stick it in there and you're like, there's no way that could have fit. I don't know how that, am I sure that that really was a fit? Because the color doesn't even look like it works. And that's like some of our,
surprising. It's surprising. It's like,
yes.
wait, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And that's like some of our inspired shortcuts. Like, really? Seriously? I can't believe that fits. It doesn't even look like it would fit, but it does. It's perfect.
I love that. That's awesome. Yes. Beautiful. Oh, I love it.
Thank you. Colleen.
I actually was doing something during the 90 seconds of the meditation, and as I sat down and started writing while you were talking, I just felt like, oh my goodness, that is so true. The signs of misalignment have a message for us, and sometimes it is just physical, but almost always with me, it's emotional, and how I need, Tyree does the best treatment, and she does it often on me. But as she gives me words, and I know that those words are not in other people, they are in me, and I need to take care of them. Anything that is a negative word, and so I've looked for things. I mean, and not felt the hurt so much as it is just feeling, I want to take care of this. I want to be in alignment. I want to be in the Savior's, I want to be molded by him. And my physical health is such a guiding principle for what's showing up in my life. And I'm so grateful for the emotional pain, and for even the physical pain that comes up, that shows me where I need to align myself and take ownership for that, not put it on anybody else, but just really be in alignment in every way with Christ's plan. Awesome. And to be ready.
I love that. And so sometimes, before we even take care of that, just the conscious knowledge, the awareness of something being out of alignment, and then the conscious choice to be in alignment, that it sort of like brings the power back into it. If I have a pain in my hip, like I do today, it's like I could totally choose the victim and say, oh, my poor self, I have a pain in my hip. There's nothing I can do about it. My pain is there. But I know that if I get my body in alignment, and then I can also, if there's still some pain in my hip, I can also check in, am I energetically aligned? Is there some limiting belief that I have? Is there some metaphysical meaning about the hip that I can look at? I know that there are so many different ways that I can check in and see, am I on alignment in all these ways? And then if, obviously medical attention is required in some situations. And so if I align everything and there's still some indication that there's a problem, then let's go check out the physical, but there's so much that we can do quickly. This alignment process can be really quick.
And it opens us up to really, really be ready for some answers to and not be resistant or hesitant, which I was sitting there, she had to try the aging backwards workout with Miranda. What is it, at Miranda Esmond White on YouTube, because I would do that, and I'm telling you, it really loosens up my joints, and it really is helpful. But I thought, well, a lot of people just don't want to hear it, and you try to tell them something, and it gets so you're sort of hesitant to say anything, and that can cause you pain.
Yes,
that can cause you yourself pain.
Yeah, because I wrote that down, and I'm gonna check it out. Why wouldn't I? That's like, if there's an answer that's something simple like that, why wouldn't I want to check it out? Thank you. Laura.
So it's so funny. What my mind went to was after reflecting for a couple minutes, I realized that this week I had my car tires aligned. Okay. And the reason that came up was that I went to, I had a tire that was losing air. And so I went to the shop, right? And I have insurance on my tires. And so they said, yeah, we don't know what's wrong with it, but we're going to replace that one. But we need to let you know that you need your wheels aligned. And they said, your tires are wearing on the inside where you can't see it. So there's no way you could have known this. Okay. So unless you were like taking the tires off and inspecting them, that's a little bit much, right? Now, so then I had to get all new tires because they had all worn on the inside. And then I had to go get an alignment. So I'm looking at this in my mind and thinking about, what's the symbolism here, right? So first of all, we've got this situation with the alignment where I couldn't see the damage that it was causing. And like, how many times in our lives, do we get out of alignment and then it just continues and we can't even see the damage of it? Whether we're not paying attention or we just can't see it. We just can't see the damage. And those blind spots, of course right? How did I find out? Well, I had this incident with one of the tires that had nothing to do with the alignment. Now, to me, that's God's hand, right? Saying, okay, you need to be aware of this problem. So I'm going to allow this problem to come into your life, right? To reveal the real need, which is the alignment.
Beautiful.
And yeah, it's just amazing to me, like thinking about that and how maybe that's half the battle of all of this, right? It's just like when the battles arise, it's like go straight to how can I get aligned with truth? How can I get aligned with truth? And as I'm thinking about it, that's what I've been doing, and that's kind of what we're all talking about in a sense too, right? So
yeah, I want to add a couple things. I don't want to interrupt you if you're still going.
No, go
if
for
you're
it.
still sharing, but maybe this will even, if you want to share something after this as well, that it is a discovery process, right? And the cool part about this story, this analogy, is that alignment wouldn't have helped if, let's see, the alignment was the problem. Okay, right? So the wearing on the inside would have been corrected by alignment. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the blind spot was that you didn't know that you needed to be aligned.
Yeah.
And I love that. And
Yeah.
there are, this is such a confirmation of what you're talking about, that other problem, that other challenge that with the one tire that they're, and especially where the guys in the shop are like, we don't know what's causing this. Like, we don't know why or what's wrong with this tire. And that's how God works, right? It's like, I have no idea where this came from, but let's get it taken.
This is your real problem.
Yes, but it opens up. It's that discovery process. It's like, oh, now we have this other problem. This is going to, solve all the problems. And I think a lot of times we look at our challenges and our, these little nuisances that happen, like I got to go replace this tire, as a problem or as a challenge. But as we've talked about before, nothing is a challenge to God. He only, he only allows, or there's only things that happen in our lives that are really just steps in our progression. As I look back over my life, there's nothing in my life that wasn't beneficial in some way. And I think a lot of times when we are trying to align with our truth, the best of our knowledge, what we understand, we need one of those little problems or challenges in our lives that will draw attention to a different thing that we're not even aware of, that it's a little blind spot for us.
Right. Because, I mean, that's really the thing. Like, if we knew it was there, we would take care of it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so, and what also occurs to me with all of this that I forgot to mention is that this is like, we're like traveling through life, right? And I mean, actually, Aristotle's theory of physics was that time isn't really time, is just movement. That there's no such thing as time as an entity. He postulated that it was really just movement through space. That made us think of this construct of time, but that time wasn't actually an entity. And which was interesting.
And it does make sense when you look from God's perspective, because time doesn't exist in God's world. And as we become more aligned in, that singular alignment with God, then it's easier to move into that God space where nothing exists and everything exists. So
exactly. Yep. And the thing is, we're traveling, right? And so like, just like that car, it's this, as we're going on our travels, we need to stay, we need to do it. We need to do basic maintenance. And the other piece of it is that none of it is possible without other people too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not
identify the problems.
Yeah. What would I have done? Like, I don't know. What would I have done with a tire by myself if I had no community? I mean, really, like, what would I have done? Like,
there's so many great things that lessons we can take from this. Cause like without alignment, without, coming to the gratitude call every day, doing your daily GPS every day, doing your soul attunement at night, like you do, Laura, those types of things to kind of keep us in alignment on a regular basis. We get worn out. We get, energetically worn out on the inside. We get spiritually worn out, and because we're trying so hard. Right? Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. We're
like, you think about your.
That's a given.
I got to go to the chiropractor too, by the way.
Awesome. I think that just to kind of close this up and see if anybody else has something they'd like to share, that the natural, blah man, it just is out of alignment. We have to consciously go to God every day to get back in alignment. And it's a beautiful process. This is not a bad thing. Oh yeah,
right?
Simple.
Because we get out of alignment physically, and my car gets out of alignment, when gravity happens, right? When, when we're just kind of, it's just because of the tug and pull on the physicality of it. And so we just need to do it. It's like, bathing. Bacteria is actually a good thing. We have a ton of it in our gut and we need it, right? But it's also not good if it builds up. So we need to bathe. So it's just this push pull, these things that can be bad when there's too much or they're the wrong ones, right?
Yeah.
But then, it's that process, and to see it all as just as part of life and part of we get these blessings of being in this body and being in this life. And
as I look around with nature and the seasons and the months and the days and everything is consistent. It just really begs to know that our alignment needs to be a consistent thing too. Consistency is just part of the natural. That's what our masterclass is going to be on, actually, on the 17th. So I'm excited to dive more into that. Thanks, Laura. Appreciate all of your thoughts. Phil, and then we will move to our permission process.
Okay, I just had to tune in here for just 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yesterday my brother and I put together this a vinyl floor that comes in pieces, and if you don't align the pieces up exactly right, then they don't fit together right. It doesn't finish out right. And so what came to me, I mean, I was, you know, meditating, thinking about your product. I kind of came in late here, but that alignment rarely, it doesn't happen naturally a lot of the time. We're creators, and we take the chaos and we put it into order, or we put it into alignment. And so but it takes action on our part. And if we're not taking action on putting it into alignment, then things just kind of they just stay in the chaos. They stay unaligned. Now, sometimes you got to go back to the instruction manual and you've got to look at, okay, wait a second, what was the steps again? What were the steps that I took that I'm supposed to take in order to keep this in alignment so that these things work out in the right way? And then you go back and go, oh, well, no wonder why. I was trying to go from this side and not that side. And I can see how that's never going to work now that I understand, and I've fought against it. And so I think that's just a true principle, you know, with God too. You know, it's like, oh, well, you know, here's the perfect way, you know, follow my example right here, and you'll see that it works out better, and you'll become into an alignment quicker.
Awesome. Love that. I thought of the word accuracy. You know, you're talking about a vinyl floor. I know we had some new floor put into our bathroom a few years ago. And I designed, it was more like a diamond pattern rather than just straight squares. And they were offset, you know, sort of like a brick pattern, you know, where it's like they're offset. And it took a lot longer for that floor to be installed than it would have been if they had just done it, you know, squares where the lines exactly match up. But there was a sense of order and accuracy that happened with that floor according to my specifications. And it turned out beautifully. You know, I love it. This accuracy, there's so much room for fluctuation and flow and flexibility. Unlike the world's version of perfect and accurate, you know, where it's like there's only one way, or somebody who's got a lot of limiting beliefs would say there's only one way. The creator, God, you know, you think about even the sun rising, it's very accurate and precise that it comes up every morning, but it's a different time every single morning. It's never at exactly the same time. Maybe not never. I don't know. Maybe it is sometimes. And even that, you know, it's accurate, but it's not exact. And you think about like a forest or a tropical garden or something that God planted. There's no straight lines. There's no exactly perfect, but it is perfect. So, you know, thinking of it in that bigger picture of God's perfection, God's accuracy, there's so much room for flexibility. I think about like a recipe. I was using my daughter's recipe last night for enchiladas, and because I have some of the things that I had in my fridge, I altered the recipe and it turned out wonderfully. So there's a lot of room for flexibility within this form of accuracy and alignment, and especially me aligned with God and you aligned with God is going to be a totally different picture of accuracy and perfection.
Can I add one more thing?
Uh-huh.
One thing, when we were done with putting this floor in, I looked at my brother and I said, I am so grateful that you're here, because you see things a little differently than I see things. And with our two minds together, we were able to figure this thing out and put it together. And how long would this have taken me if I'd have just tried to do this on my own? And so, you know, bringing in a mentor, or you know, if God is your mentor, or talking to a friend sometimes and getting another point of view can really bring clarity to what you're trying to put into alignment.
Awesome. I love that, bringing someone else into that process. Tyree, I saw that you unmuted. Would you like to share something?
So I've been thinking So I've had like some level of food addictions in my life, but they to varying degrees. But right now it's different and maybe more than it has been in the past. And I've been thinking about that. And I did that flour and sugar fast. And then so I've been pondering, and I had such amazing blessings, and I've been pondering on that, like where is the alignment?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're all different degrees of alignment, because you have like to where you're completely out of alignment with some addiction or something, and then you have alignment where you're following a diet that's consistent, it helps you stay on track, and then you have I feel like it's a higher law where you are just eating seasonally, you're eating in alignment, in tune with what your body wants and needs, and in the right proportions, and just like eating, or I feel like there's different levels of alignment in our lives in so many different areas. And when we can really just be in that flow state where we just are doing something or eating something that's completely just to support and enjoy, but you're really to support and nourish ourselves.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love that. This really confirmation of what was just said about accuracy and, the flexibility that's in there, based on what my body needs, what I feel in alignment with, and also, that communication that we have with deity to know what is alignment for me. And, kind of, like I said before, the calls kind of flow into each other. I was thinking about yesterday, a thought that I shared about, there's no way that we can judge other people, because my relationship with God and what means alignment for me is different than your relationship with God and what means alignment for you. So there's no way that I can use my beliefs or what feels like alignment for me. I can't push that on to someone else, because it may not be, it most likely is not the same guidelines, that would be best for that person. So thank you. Appreciate you sharing that. Let's go ahead and shift into our permission process. Go ahead and take a deep breath. And just allow yourself right now to feel in alignment. Just take a moment and allow that light from heaven to enter the top of your head, the crown of your head, and watch as that light trickles all the way down to your through the alignment of your body, that line of your body, whether that be your spine or your chakras, your energy centers, whatever feels right to you. Just allow that light to touch and turn on all of those energy centers in your body, and just watch as the movement happens. I know Laura in her soul attunement call talks about how everything moves in a clockwise direction, and there's constant movement. And just watch as that light from heaven turns all of those energy centers on as you move down your body, the top of your head, your third eye, right in your forehead area, your throat chakra, your, this spinal area in your neck, and down into your heart area, into your gut, into your creative space down below your gut, and your root chakra, and all the way down through your legs and feet, and finally connecting with the earth through your feet. And just feel that one solid line of connection with God, heaven and earth, and everything turned on, the light within you turned on, the movement within you turned on, that even though you are stationary, that you are in constant motion. And just listen and feel any areas of your body that might feel out of alignment right now, or that you're noticing feels like it's a little bit off. Just notice, and no resistance, just allowing. And the first question is, what is the message that this area of my body has for me? What is the message that this feeling has for me? And just write down whatever words come to you. This is just your personal inspiration to help you return to alignment. And also listen for any limiting beliefs that might be coming up for you right now. And write that down. And with this message, now that you have received the message, or now that you know what the message is, can you receive it? Are you willing and ready to receive the message? And the difference is that you are actually willing to take action on it. The difference between getting a message and receiving it is the willingness to take action. So if you're ready to receive the message, can you now be grateful for the message, for the feeling, can you be grateful for the feeling of being out of alignment, just like that tire that Laura took to the tire repair shop because there was something wrong with her tire, it was losing air. Just like that, can you be grateful for that little irritation, that little space in your body that was out of alignment, because now you have the message. The blind spot has been uncovered. And now you know what needs to happen for you to be in full alignment. So can you express gratitude for that feeling because of the message that has been delivered? And if you can express gratitude, now there's no reason for that feeling to remain because you're willing to take action on it and you've expressed gratitude for it. So what does that feeling want to do right now? Just check in with the feeling. Does it want to stay where it is? Does it want to leave? Does it want to move? Does it want to get bigger? Does it want to get smaller? Whatever it wants to do, can you allow it to do whatever it wants to do? Because maybe there's another message. And just allow that feeling to do whatever it wants. And you are welcome to continue that, asking that question, what is the message, as long as that feeling is there, even if it moves to a different part of your body, you can continue asking that question. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step of our permission process and identify that limiting belief. And now they've actually received that message and expressed gratitude for it. Maybe that limiting belief is completely gone. But if it is still there, just ask, take a moment and examine what the cost of that limiting belief is. And if the cost is too great and you want to get rid of that limiting belief because you don't want that cost, then all you have to do is give yourself permission to change. So if you're ready to give yourself permission to change, say yes.
Yes.
Awesome. And so if you're ready to give yourself permission to change, the way you do that is to choose some new beliefs. Take that old limiting belief out and replace it with some new empowering beliefs. And these new beliefs to be in alignment with this new, the feeling that is happening now without that, now that you've made the decision to make a change in this area that your body showed you, that maybe there's some new beliefs that you can create that will empower you to be able to make that change and to be more in alignment. 2 or 3 new beliefs. And then once you have those new beliefs, I invite you to get realigned, allow yourself to get back into that feeling of alignment where that light from heaven and going all the way to the earth and back up again, so that it's just that earth's energy and heaven's energy is mixing within you. And just feel the love and gratitude of being aligned and having the commitment to remain in alignment. And what is the one most important thing that you could do today? What's your inspired shortcut to remain in alignment, to maintain alignment, and to give you evidence that you do have the power to be aligned and that your body is happiest when it's aligned? What is your inspired shortcut today to give you evidence of the power and the joy of alignment? We are at the end of our time today, and so I'm going to invite all of you to share on our Breakthrough with Gratitude group, just anything that you feel like you would like to share to really anchor in this knowledge that you've gained today. Writing it, sharing it is part of the gratitude triad that really helps you to create a physical experience instead of it just being yours, that you can inspire others, and it creates more of a physical experience for you. So you definitely will anchor it in, and you'll remember it longer. So I encourage you to go to our Breakthrough with Gratitude group and share your thoughts there. Also, if there's anybody that needs some extra support in this area, I would love to have a conversation with you. All you have to go to askwylene.com, and you can schedule a time, 15-minute call to talk a little bit more about your whatever's happening with you right now. And thank you for joining us today. Today is Thursday, so we do have one more day this week to be together. I encourage you to be back together with us tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And if you're listening to the podcast and you've never been on live, or you've been a inconsistent listener, a live participant, I encourage you to come and be with us at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. All the information to get on our call live and to know what to expect is on wylenebenson.com/gratitude. So if you go there, you'll have, there's a couple of videos there and all the information that you need to know to get on live. Love you guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Wyleen.
Thank you so much.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, wylenebenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.